Usually, before I go shaking my tits for the press, I like to go see how the professionals do it. Some might say the chief of police has no business in an institution like this, but in fact it's the quietest and safest place in town. You won't run into any reporters, nobody gets into any fights, nobody drinks too much, nobody even raises their voice. The place is owned by an elderly gentleman who knows how to keep things under control. That's why I never invite my friends here. I wanted to make an exception for my 60th birthday, but most of my colleagues are young enough to be my sons, and they'd rather just hire prostitutes. Why stare at some boobs when you can take the whole package for yourself? But there's none of that in our club. Even looking too long is considered indecent. You can get an occasional glimpse, like by accident. The rest of the time you just pretend that you're immersed in conversation, or just come by for a drink. Doesn't mean these gentlemen wouldn't want their bald heads smothered in tits. It's just that nobody says it out loud. My younger colleagues might call it hypocrisy, but I call it the good old-fashioned manners. Good manners and leave the rest unsaid. She agrees to unbutton her blouse, and we agree not to pay too much attention. The girls are on a quiet prowl, too. They're looking for a way out of their cramped rooms. Maybe make friends with some wealthy patron with a pacemaker and dentures. Everybody wants something. But we have to control ourselves, or we'll all turn into libertines and prostitutes. Hell, if there weren't any rules, I'd be belching and farting, jumping up on the table, arms held high, yelling, "Shake it, baby!" No idea how I got so barbaric.
오케이, 오늘 해볼 게임은 This is the Forest. 이것이 경찰이다. 시작해볼게요. 원래 하던 거 있었는데 유튜브 찍기 위해 새로 시작합니다. 오케이.
When I was a kid, my father sometimes told me at bedtime that if I closed my eyes and didn't open them for a long time, all the demons would blow away. Yesterday I turned 60, but I still take his advice. Not because I'm sentimental or want to keep the memory of my father alive. I just can't think of a better solution. To get away from all the demons that haunt Freeburg, I'd need to wear a blindfold 24/7. Plus, it's a good idea to act blind when talking to reporters. At least that's what my colleagues say. They're afraid of press conferences. But for me, it's more like a confessional. No matter what lies you tell, you're privately thinking the honest answers. It helps me remember who I am. The fact that I'll be reading all about it in the papers tomorrow is a small price to pay. Call it penance for the preacher. This is the first time I'm afraid of those answers my mind has given me. Not because I'm mad I'm losing my job. Though it's true, I'm mad as hell. Not because I subconsciously blame everyone else. Though I damn sure do blame them. And don't even ask me what my next move is. I can't imagine. But even that doesn't scare me. The worst thing is, I know I'm gonna have to do something. And I'll be damned if I know how far I'll go. I may have a lot of vices, but predictability isn't one of them. I learned a long time ago how to drive away the swarming demons. But what do you do when they're trying to rip your soul from your skin? Shutting my eyes tight as I can. The best solution remains the same. Play blind. I just hope the reporters think I was blinded by the camera flash.
좋은 아침입니다. 일장치에서 공식적으로 서장님의 사임을 발표했는데요. 소식을 듣고 놀라셨나요? 아니면 사전을 얘기하고 계셨나요? 많이 놀랐습니다. 전 적어도 5년 10년은 더 경찰로 근무할 생각이었습니다. 오로지 이 도시에 봉사하고 싶은 마음일 뿐이었죠. 물론 저도 이야기를 듣고 놀랐습니다. 이번은 누가 들어올지 알고 계십니까? 아니요, 잘 모르겠습니다. 시장 측에도 그럴 것 같진 않습니다. 최근에 부패 스캔들 이후 부서장인 프랜시스 캔드릭이 사임할 예정이라고 합니다. 그가 당신의 후임이 된다면 마음을 바꿀 것 같나요? 그는 떠나기로 결심했습니다. 그 결정을 바꿀 수 있는 것은 아무도 없을 겁니다. 캔드릭 씨가 무죄 판결을 받긴 했지만 많은 사람들이 아직도 경찰이 마피아와 협력하고 있다고 믿고 있습니다. 여기에 대해 하실 말씀 있나요? 제가 마피아와 이런 적은 없지만 부서 내의 모든 인원을 대변할 수는 없습니다. 모든 직원을 24시간 내내 따라갈 수는 없어요. 시장님과 개인적인 관계가 이번 사임에 영향을 줬다고 생각하시나요? 정책이 어떻게 결정되는지 말하는 것은 힘든 일입니다. 감사합니다.
How's the back today, Mr. Boyd?
Same as usual.
How did the press conference go?
You can read about it in the newspapers tomorrow. Don't let anyone in.
Even Mr. Kendrick?
Especially Mr. Kendrick. As soon as I heard the door creak, I knew what face I'd see. When I tell Emma not to let anyone in, there's only one man it could be. Rude, arrogant, no warning. That's Mayor Rogers in a nutshell. White summer shoes, white socks, white shorts, white polo shirt, and the white smile of a hungry shark. Mayor Rogers enters every room like he owns the place. Even the floorboards under his feet sound like they're creaking an apology. He never shied away from the odd corruption scheme. It's like the devil walks behind him. In the movies, the villains controlling the city play golf with the judges. Rogers plays tennis with them instead. That's about the only difference.
Jack, I was hoping to catch you after the press conference. You ran away so quick.
There's no smoking at City Hall. No reason for me to hang around.
Well, this morning I signed a ban on smoking in all public buildings. Soon you won't be able to smoke here either.
Soon enough, I won't be here at all.
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. The people of this city like you, Jack. The police chief of all people. Don't betray that, Jack. Don't get wrapped up in any schemes. Sit nice and quiet for the next 180 days, and you'll be remembered as a hero. That's the only thing that you still have left. Be the hero.
Then how am I supposed to scrape together a retirement fund?
You had a million chances to secure a luxury pension, one that even I would have envied, although I've never set aside any money for myself. I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. "180 days of quiet, Jack. That's all I need. I don't have any problems with you, and you won't have any problems with me." I have a new assistant, Troy Starr. If you have something to tell me, call him. But try not to bother him. He's a busy man.
I'll do my best.
And quit smoking up the office. One of my friends will be using it soon.
Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Only the mayor has this number. Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, is this Troy Starr?
Yes?
Go fuck yourself, Troy Starr.
문어부장 이탈리아의 저택소 긁적 보이는 시장은 전문가 올해 공무원 임금 인상 없어. 들어가 봅시다.
Cops don't use the police station cafeteria anymore. There's some kind of stigma against sitting shoulder to shoulder with your partners. Everybody just takes snacks from the machines or grabs a meal and hammers it down in the corner like a vulture on a corpse. The main thing? Don't look into anyone's eyes. Could be construed as an invitation to sit together. The only people eaten here are ghosts. My deputy, Francis Kendrick. He recently became one of those ghosts. The subject of one of the most devastating corruption scandals in the history of Freeburg. No evidence to support the accusations, but everyone knows Kendrick's days are numbered. I need that file I asked for. Needs to be ready tonight. Francis didn't say anything, but I understood. Ghosts aren't supposed to talk. Besides, I got a feeling he was already finished.
왜? 하니까 가봅시다. 근무 시작. 뺑소니 올라탔다. 아사노라 프라이스 같이 아니다. 오스틴 같이 가세요. 싸움. 입장을 내 남자는 전에 폭력을 가하고 있다. 우지랑 프라이스 같이 가세요. 손이 보고 오면 보죠. 아이고 오랜만에 감을 잃었네. 기다려볼게요. 시민 무사. 오케이. 시민이 무사했다면 됐다. 무장강도. 무장강도는 둘이 가라. 싸움. 유산을 두고 싸움을 한다. 보안역까지 나왔다. 오케이. 몇몇 청소년들이 나왔다. 셋이서 갑시다.
Looks like we have a situation here.
예, 째고 정무사. 오케이, 나이스. 다 도망가네. 경사건 다 도망가 무슨? 옛날엔 안 그랬는데 왜 다 도망가지? 근무 종료.
Used to be, when I asked Kendrick to stay late at the office, he liked to grumble and crack wise. Nowadays, he doesn't have the strength for it. Slumped shoulders, blank stare, wrinkled skin. The past few weeks, I don't hardly recognize my old friend. In his younger years, he reminded me of a gallant royal officer in an old Kipling story. Kendrick isn't just crumbling under the weight of the public pressure, but from the shame of it all. Internal Affairs raided the library he inherited from his grandfather, hoping they'd find buckets of cash stashed in the pages. Heard about the look on his face, the fearless policeman standing helpless in horror. I've known Francis for 30 years. The past 20 years he's played loose with the law. And I know that at a certain point every stolen dollar brings more misery than anything else. Probably sounds crazy, but I sympathize with the guy. What can I do? Your friends are your friends, and these are the waters we swim in.
Called all of the people on that list today. Now they know you're in business, so you could get a call from any of them. You don't need to worry about any of them. I've cleared them all.
And what kind of business are we talking here?
It's nothing too serious, just like you asked. Should be just a few small favors. Payments will vary depending on the situation and who you're dealing with. How much are you looking to earn?
$500,000.
$500,000? Why not a whole million?
Because everybody wants to take $1 million. Figured I'd try something different.
$500,000 in 180 days? Well, you could earn it all above board if you netted all the big fish and hit all your bonuses.
Never knew you for a fisherman.
Well, you never got into my business, and I'm not trying to get into yours. But be careful about bringing in any other cops. Sooner or later, they'll put the finger on you. And one more thing, Jack. I remember what you said, but I should probably add one more name to that list. Christopher Sand.
Sand. Christopher G. Sand. Everyone knows the name, but few could tell you who he is. The old man stays away from the spotlight. Always wears old-fashioned jeans and knitted sweaters. Gives to charity. Rarely attends social events. An avid hunter, I hear. Even dabbles in poetry. You'd never guess he's the head of the oldest and most powerful gang in the city. Goes back as far as his great-grandfather. And Sand is strict about following the old rules. He rarely involves himself in commonplace murders and robberies. Hardly needs to intimidate anyone to get his point across. The people who work for him each have their sphere. They provide protection where needed, even work with the authorities when they want to make a deal. Meanwhile, Sand pulls the strings without getting his hands dirty. People sometimes mistake his quiet approach. A couple years ago, an arms dealer decided to expand its business without asking permission, and his whole family paid the price. In 4 weeks, Sand killed 31 people. Old men, women, even a few teenagers. And Sand's people made sure every paper reported it. Frank, I don't want to hear you say that name again.
Jack, please, listen to me. I'm in with these guys.
We agreed, Frank. That's not the kind of business I'm into. I don't go there. Never have, never will.
Phase 3. Kendrick is a pentatonic producer and 다시 연기. 가봅시다. 3일째 날 출근. 예, 가서 보세요. 위수 촬영 장갑을 내일은 와요. 오케이. 원장은 우리 반달과 로빈즈에게 가자. 다시 10%씩 낮추고 바로 합시다. 노동시장 전문성 경찰 슬롯이 하나 남으니까 A조에 있으니까 B조로 갑시다. 직원이 A조 A조로 가주세요. 오케이. 공공물 해서 온 로빈즈와 버치 공공물을 해서 후회랑 버치 2세가 들어있어요. 범죄자가 치킨 버거 범인한테 사마리아 같이 가시고 그래서 범인 잡고 경찰관 무사하고 나이스. 범인 잡고 경찰관 무사하고 오케이. 서울 신고. 킹 루이스 나이트클럽. 경비원이 판매할 수 있다. 알아서 보내줄게. 저런 걸 잘 보내야지 돈도 들어오고. 경력이 있으니까 초반에 하기 편하네요.
1111B is progress.
마약 거래면 좀 빡세게 들어가야지. 그러면 돼. 싸바나랑 같이.
411 in progress.
가살 내고 빨리 가라. 아 이런 씨. 그래도 돈을 많이 받았다. 노동시장 한 명 또 데려와야 돼 이거. 미첼. 미첼? 미첼은 임창규인데. 오케이, 요 사건까지.
Looks like we have a situation here.
그러면은
1111B.
범인 잡고 경찰관 무사하고 나이스고요.
411 complete.
가살내고 범인 잡았고 경찰관 무사하고 좋습니다. 근무 종료. 아, A조로 보냈었는데 B조로 보냈네. 아하이. 근무 종료 일단. 뭐 SPM. 일하러 갑시다.
Whenever I'm alone at home and there's a knock at the door, I always hope it'll be my wife, Laura. She's always forgetting her keys.
Hello, my name is Steve, and you're Jack Boyd, is that right?
To get to my front door, the Bible boys walked about a mile from the local bus stop, jumping over mud puddles and skirting a couple of landfills. Laura doesn't go in for religion either, but according to her, these brave lunatics with their fake smiles deserve at least a minute of attention. She patiently listens to them, asks them questions, regales them with pastries, and never once dropping a hint of condescension. When I watch her do it, I've got to admit it gets me. I'd have hugged those boys, sat with them on the porch, and lit up a cigar. But a month after Laura left, all I could do was quietly ask them not to bother me. Today I'm a little rougher still. Shut the door on his nose this time. Another couple weeks at this rate and I'll be greeting anyone who comes close with my service pistol pointed towards the sky, ready to fire my warning shots. In my life, even the basic stuff never goes like it's supposed to. Normally, when a wife is going to leave home, she'll make a scene or at least sit everyone down for a serious conversation. But Laura just disappeared. The children in the stories always stand on the side of the mother, but all three of our sons supported me. The in-laws always blame the husband for making their daughter unhappy. But now Sally, Laura's mother, well, we sort of have a pact. The fellow Laura ran off with is young enough to be her son. I hear he's 30 years old. Of all the possible information a man can know about his wife's lover, I get hit with that. Fortunately, Laura's mother doesn't like the way it sounds either. Sally figures this guy just thought he'd have some fun with a mature woman, but he'll be back chasing college girls before the year is out. So we have an agreement. Sally's gonna track down Laura and try to reason with her, and we'll arrange a meeting. Meanwhile, I'm supposed to not do anything stupid, which of course means anything at all. It's a crazy situation. I'm the police chief, and the person I'm trusting to find my wife is an old woman armed with a phone book. But I can't afford to lose Sally as an ally. So for the moment, I had to swallow my pride.
Hello.
Mrs. Markham, this is Boyd.
Oh, is there any news?
That's what I wanted to ask you. Have you found anything? An address, phone number? Have you spoken to her?
Don't worry, Jack. I've narrowed the range to 2 suspects, or whatever you like to say at your police building.
At my police building, we find people faster than a funny old woman chirping on the phone with my wife's girlfriends.
Oh, you're an old man, Jack. Come to your senses. They'd give us straight odds on the street. But I've got more energy, Jack. Maybe you think I'm a foolish old woman, but I go to my book club, argue with the girls about Byron, and it gives me energy. I talk to my dogs, and it gives me energy. And you have nothing, Jack. You don't even have a hobby. You got no passion. It's why Laura left you.
Let's not go back into that, Sally. Find my wife, and we can discuss my hobbies later. I'm waiting for your call, and my patience is running thin. Laura, if you've stopped loving me, I'll let you go. I can't expect the impossible from you. Just don't let me die out here, okay?
오늘 주 근무 시작. 버드 프레임네 버드 미치파.
212 in progress.
에반데. 이체를 데려오자마자 해고해야 돼? 살인? 논리로와 작업해서 아가 와, 못 자르는데. 일단 해봅시다. 자동차 강탈, 치바키 가고, 그랜드 가고, 아사노. 수명에서 가라.
212 complete.
님 잡았고, 명령사 하고.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation.
네,
113 complete.
오케이, 잡았고. 시민이 죽었어. 싸움을 체포했고 사하고. 오케이, 나이스. 모든 흑인 경찰 해보고. 큰일났네. 몇 명이 뭐야? 한 명, 두 명, 세 명, 네 명, 다섯 명. 스파링 대전. 제리 가라. 살인사건 보자. 새로운 사진. 수사 시작. 세단을 타고 와서 기관총을 갈겼다. 소음기를 씌운 총성이 났다. 조용했다. 차에 치일 뻔했다. 일단 더 수사하고
311A in progress.
무용수가 팁을 두고.
in progress.
싸움. 바텐더와 손님과 경비원 사이에 싸움이 일어났다. 우리 가고
We've got a situation here.
배송원들 싸우고 있다.
311A complete.
오늘 체포, 경찰 수사. 싸움 보고 범인 체포, 경찰관 무사 좋고. 근무 종료. 근무 종료. 토마스 웨이 임산부터. 경찰입니다.
Why would a man need a barn? To store all the stuff you can't bring home. About 30 years ago, back when I was young and interested in farming, I carried all kinds of junk home. After a day in the field, I'd come home with buckets, shovels, dirty boots and clothes, and instantly transform the living room. But even back then, there's something I always kept in the barn. I stopped keeping my pills inside the house because every time I was about to take a triple, someone would knock on my bedroom door. Now they're knocking on my barn door. Well, fine. It's not every day that someone comes to visit your barn. In all the years we worked together, Kendrick never came to visit the house. We drank at bars, went fishing, went to the mountains, even chased off some poachers one time. But he never came for dinner with the family. We never watched football over here. And now he's brought his friends to visit my barn. I always try to look unsurprised, like it's an everyday thing to get visitors at the old barn, especially guests with their own personal bodyguards. But Kendrick is sharp enough to see he's caught me with my pants on backwards.
Sorry for the surprise, Jack. We saw you from the car. Figured we'd find you in here. I'm going in for a minute, fellas. These guys will wait outside.
How long you been dating the lover boys?
They're Sans people, Jack.
Yeah. So now you're appearing in public with members of the Mafia?
Jack, I'm leaving tonight. More like fleeing. Jenny and I are taking the girls and making a run for it. Probably won't be seeing each other again. I've got new documents, a new name, a new life, everything new.
The papers say you're still working your last week for the department.
I've got to get out today. I won't be getting another chance. Don't know if you noticed, but the whole city is against me.
You told your Mafia friends about your plans.
Jackie, if I don't fix everything with them in the next few hours, they're going to kill me. And not just me. My family, my relatives, God, Jack, I don't know who else. They found out that I was planning to run and they demanded that we close our contract today.
Your contract, Frank? Really? Is that how you talk now? Maybe you should call in the lawyers to straighten all this out.
Now is not the time, Jack, please. I have a commitment to them until the end of the year. They need an inside line at police headquarters. I can't just give them back the money. That's not how the Mafia works. If I can't find someone I can trust tonight, I'm dead. You know me, Jack. I wouldn't ask you if I wasn't afraid they'd cut my daughters to pieces before sunrise.
He's the damn fool who puts his daughters in the crosshairs in the first place. Anyone in my place would have dressed him down good. But I didn't want to pile it on. Fate's already got this guy's soul in the grinder.
캔드릭을 뭐 덥죠 뭐.
Give him my phone number and tell him it's done. Don't call me. Don't come to work today. I don't want to see or hear from you again. Time for you to go.
Jack,
Get the fuck out of my nice cozy barn, Frank. At the time, I was trying not to think about what just happened. It was almost too much to take in. I'm probably the most popular police chief in the history of the city, and I have to admit, I've thought about that more than once, sometimes with a little pride even. In one of the features they wrote about me in the papers, they said it pretty plain. He catches the criminals. Believe me, high praise like that is unheard of in Freeburg, especially for a cop. And here I am, the person who catches criminals, And I've agreed to help the mafia, or I'll come home to a bag stuffed with my kids' body parts. Right before the last hammer falls. Hey, remember that cop who caught criminals? It turns out he was a mafia bitch. And all for the sake of a greedy, corrupt cop who should have fled the country years ago. That sound right to you?
출근합시다. 네, 근무 시작.
In progress.
대거를 거부하고 스토벨랑 오스틴
910B in progress.
미첼 미안하다. 혼자 갈 수밖에 없겠다.
311A in progress.
싸움. 김기훈란 잡았고.
We've got a situation here.
I'm Alabama bound. Alabama.
910B complete.
오케이. 잡았네 혼자서 그래도.
I
야.
followed you round from town to town. I'm Alabama bound.
실해. 쉬워. 좋은 병원 가수. 좀만 기다려요. 보여줄게요. 싸움. 아, 도망갔네.
212 in progress.
좀만 기다렸다가 애들 오면은 그때 보냅시다. A조의 배치. 와, 불법으로 다 해고해야 돼? 어쩔 수 없다. 미안합니다. 잘 데려와야지 뭐. A조, B조, A조, B조. 아, 나 저번에는 해고 안 했었는데. 아쉽네.
12 complete.
또 살인. 형사가 사망했다고?
To 11 in progress.
오후에서 여기서 가고.
To 11 complete.
그래서 잡았고 근무 종료. 큰일났네. 비조 이동차별주의로 그러네요.
Mr. Boyd, there was a man here earlier. He left you this.
A man? What man? Who let him on this floor?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. I asked him his name, but he just ignored me. He was talking on a big telephone, you know, one of those portables. He gave me this envelope and left.
Damn. Okay, let's see about this. Of course, they could have shot them the second they took the photo. But I knew Kendrick and his family were all right. Either way, the message was not that they got out. It meant that I was in. My servitude to the Mafia had begun. I'd only been in my new position 5 seconds, and I already knew why Kendrick called it a contract. You sound doomed if you call it what it is. A curse. Boyd.
Good morning, Jack. I believe you just received my message.
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forget some people don't recognize my voice. But I assure you, Jack, if I was sitting right there in front of you, you'd have no trouble recognizing me. Like I was a member of your family. Even better than a wife, perhaps. A wife can betray you. No man is immune.
I don't talk to people who don't tell me their names.
Oh, Jack, don't be so childish. You're too old to run away from strangers. Yes, we both are. And in our old age, friendship becomes rare and all the more precious. But of course, we must work with new people and find out new names. So if you insist, Jack, let us formally meet. Hello, Jack Boyd. I'm Christopher Sand.
Wonderful, Mr. Sand. And what is it you do for a living?
Oh, you'll soon find out all about that. Well, you'll learn much more than a simple policeman could ever expect. You're a simple policeman no longer, Jack. Don't turn off your phone. You start today.
Eight in 10. It's been my go-to principle since my first day on the job. I've got to let my colleagues hush up what they need to, 2 out of 10 times, so that they'll help me with the remaining 8. 80 out of 100, 800 out of 1,000. I'm proud of those statistics. It's not so bad for Freeburg, right? But now I just officially became a mafia whore. I'm supposed to be fearing for my life, for the lives of my wife and children. But the only thing I can think, what's gonna happen to 8 and 10?
예, 편하세요. 그럼 내일은 와. 내일은 와. 이 인원으로 버텨야 돼? 힘든데, 한번 해보자. 왜 2번? 오케이. 잠깐만. A조, B조. 네, B조로 갑시다. 경찰관 1명. 잠깐만. A조, B조. A조로 가야겠네. A조로. 오케이. 야, 오늘은 사건이 적기를.
410A in progress.
살인 미수. 오토바이를 타고 있었다. 남자 여자가 있었다. 자켓을 입고 있었다. 내 머리에 수염이 나 있었다. 아, 무기를 들고 있진 않았다. 맞지? 뭐야, 왜 이리 쉬워? 강도. 잘 잡아야지. 쏘지 말고 야지 이렇게 하자. 나중에 잡고. 오늘 집에 쉬는구나. 아하이. 먼저 맞고 경찰 검사하고. 나이스.
113B in progress. Looks like we have a situation here. 113B complete.
아하. 첩보를 시도할 거야.
710A in progress.
인질극. 허위 신고일 것 같은데. 내려가. 쟤만 오면 가자. 안 되네. 한 명만 보내.
in
절도.
progress.
카지노. 여기랑 넥스토. yan시 가죠. 어쩔 수 없다.
710A.
그치? 네. 잘 해결됐나?
911.
잘또 범인자 맞고 경찰 검사하고. 나이스.
in progress.
의사용. 오케이. 애들 오면 가자. 너무 많이 보였나? 먼저 터지지 마라.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
타이를 쏴. 여성은 차에서
412.
병인 잡았고 범행 무사하고 시민 무사. 오케이 나이스. 수사 시작. 세단을 타고 와서 기관총을 난사했다. 약을 사다가 이렇게 놔두고 오케이. 뭐 종료? 뭐 종료. 오늘도 출근.
The people of Freeburg have built up a tolerance for the petty horrors of modern life. You'll never see crowds gathering around a beaten passerby. Folks rarely even slow to gawk at a car accident. And street theft doesn't turn heads anymore. Been a long time since people got worked up about stuff like that. So when I ran into a troubled crowd on the way to work, I knew there was something serious going on. Something bad enough to knock these people out of their daily rhythm. And we're talking about people who would step over a corpse if it was blocking the door to the coffee shop. But apparently all it takes is a bunch of leaflets, or spreading broken glass across Main Street, or releasing a couple of hundred rats in the ice arena. The mysterious figure taking responsibility for these strange acts goes by the alias Robespierre. Nobody knows who he is, what he wants, or what all this adds up to, from the buckets of lard spread on the sidewalk to the front door of City Hall covered with ostrich feathers. But this strange cross between childhood pranks and cheap theatrics has got the people all worked up. Everyone understands when some Freeburg crook satisfies the basic human need to rob and kill. But when someone steals a lion from the local zoo and locks him in a cell below the courthouse, the people start asking questions. Myself, I kinda like this Robespierre. It's not just the pranks he's pulling or his green bull's head emblem. I just like his funny nickname. Robespierre? Really? Who does that make me? The Marquis de Lantenac? I don't think so. In the old books about revolutions, I fancy myself the old gunner who goes off to war with a bag of damp powder. Or maybe the innkeeper who tops up the beer kegs with mop water. It's something to think about.
오케이. 새로운 불량이다. 평소의 마지막 일은 오늘 집에 가서 읽으세요. 하루 쉬시고요. 비가 올릴 지경이다. 오늘은 쉬세요. 사람도 많으니까. 쇼팽. 다 저작권이 없는 노래구나. 오케이. 데이 7 시작합니다. 항해 수학의 추가조사를 위해. 오케이. 우리 가자. 수아스단가가 될 것 같아. 서장 통계 자료
911 in progress.
풋 운동화, 절도, 치바키랑 푹이랑 가자. 해고하고 법적 해고하고 데브리터 놔두고 프라이스 해고 맥코이는 아니고 프레겔라 해석해주세요. 그리고 B에다가 증원 인력 한번 넣어줘야겠네. B죠. 됐어. 방도 보고 범인 잡았고 나이스 샷.
A in progress. Like we have a situation here. 911.
잡았고 저랑사 나이스. 살인 미수 잡으러 갑시다. 트레버 사마디 그랜드 버치 바로 코앞이니까 거치는 뭐 거치 이세는 백투더퓨처 시사회 거의 반달 가죠. 돌아갔고 살인미수 잘 잡고 돌아오길.
410A complete.
허위 신고지? 아 아니구나. 잘 잡았네. 오케이.
A in progress.
초등학교 빨리 가야겠네. 그냥 둘이 가자. 찰스드 기다려봐요. 이거는 할게요. 꾹 사마디 워치. 오늘 10시 5분에 엔지니어링 공장. 용기문랑 같이 잡으러 갑시다.
412A.
행범위 잡았고 무사하고 시무사 나이스. 내비도 좋아. 얘는 이제 얘도 해고해야겠어. 씨. 아까 10시 9분이랬나? 10시 9분. 이쪽으로 와.
Officer on scene. Looks like we have a situation here.
왜 관리해야지? 누구 받고 나와? 오케이. 잘 잡았고 A조 B조 이 적어도 부족하네. 됐어. 사건이 없네.
in progress.
무시해달라 했으니까 해주고. 오케이, 4,000. 심리 테스트. 하하이나. 네, 근무 종료. 오케이, 체크포인트 찍고. 네, 오늘은 여기까지 하겠습니다.